Hello there, welcome to my channel, Maze's Life, where I'm terrible at managing money, but trying to get better. So with today's video, I'm going to go over my July 2025 monthly debt confessions. So let's get started. Alright, so on the left-hand side here, you see my debt names. These are the different credit cards and then the different loans that I have. These were originally labeled from smallest debt to largest debt within that category, and then smallest debt to largest debt within this category. But as you can see, there have been several changes. I got some questions. I've been getting some questions about like the velocity method and like why I'm still using credit cards and not just paying off my debt. And I just wanted to just explain a little bit. So when I first started this debt journey, I was not able to make all of my payments and my bills and all of my expenses, just the minimum amounts, in a single month. And I had to still rely on debt. Then if you watch my video from 2 days ago when I talk about like my net worth categories update, I am now in a spot where I do not need credit cards to survive month to month. Now I'm living not just paycheck to paycheck, but I have a little bit at the end of this month to go towards extra debt, extra savings, extra sinking funds. But I am still using credit cards because, as I said 2 videos ago, last year I put over $38,000 towards my debt, and I mistakenly said $16,000. It was actually only $14,000 actually is what went to the debt. The rest, more than double that amount, went to just the interest payments. So that's why I still use credit cards, because now I'm trying to move my credit card debt from one card with a high interest rate to another card with a low to no interest rate. I talked about that several videos ago, so if you didn't see that, like me explain that, so I just wanted to go ahead and explain it here again, that this like methods that I'm doing is not the conventional method. Most people, they have debt, they pay it off. Me, I'm like moving money around. It looks very messy. It's a lot to keep up with. It's a lot of extra mental work. And I also notice that like a lot of people, they'll get debt consolidation loans. But if you can see, if I move this up, this personal loan right here was a debt consolidation loan from a previous debt payoff journey that I failed at. So, and this personal loan I absolutely hate. The monthly minimum payment is $553.88, and it's the bane of my existence. So I will never do a debt consolidation loan again. So instead of doing the debt consolidation loans, I am like offloading my credit card debts onto other credit cards. I'll write here what the interest rate for each credit card is. That can hopefully help, because I have not done that since my very first video. And then why I still use certain cards sometimes is also just because I keep messing up. I'm stuck in my ways. But why I use the low interest cards, that is why. Pay off high interest debts with low interest debts, which I know is just like just moving around the money and it's not actually accomplishing anything. But last year, the first 6 months of the year, I put over $10,000 just to interest, and this year it'll be less than $2,500 in just the first 6 months of the year. So I am not paying off debt quicker, doing like in some magical way. I am just paying off less interest in this crazy, confusing, magical way. So I'm not paying off debt quicker than I am last year. If anything, I'm paying off debt slower, but I'm paying off interest quicker. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, but yeah, so let me go ahead and let's go on to my Chase Freedom card. So my Chase Freedom card, my previous balance was $2,368.60, and it has since gone down $59.32. I keep using this card even though it's a high interest rate. It is 28.99%. I believe the APR is a little bit higher, but that's the interest rate. And I keep using this card because it has travel points, and I need to tell myself, stop doing that. The travel points aren't worth it. But that's how much it went down. That's because that's the minimum monthly payment minus what went to interest. So my monthly payment is a couple $100, and you can see only $59 went to the actual principal. I have it written down for those of you who care. Okay, my minimum payment was actually $131.37 minimum payment. So you can see out of that amount, only this went to the principal, and it's because of this high interest rate and because of how high the balance is. All right, now we can go through the rest of this, hopefully much quicker. So my California Coast Credit Union, this went up $25.57, and that's just because this is a low interest card. It is 10.88%. Then my Chase Edge, that card is closed. I'm thinking about deleting this one and this USA signature from this sheet just because I'm running out of room and I would like there to be extra room. So these might be coming off soon. All right, then my City Diamond card. That card is 0% interest until October 25. All right, so that's why I'm trying to pay this off before October. But this Bank of America Platinum card, the balance went down $1,000, so it's now at $3,250. And this one is at 0% interest until November of 25. And so even this one, the balance transfer promotion ends after this one. I am just trying to put more money on this one because it's such a higher balance. All right, then my USA rate, I just realized I did not calculate that. So let me go ahead. 53766 minus 5794.01. So this card went up $417.41. This interest rate is 25.99%. This card I should not be using because it's such a high interest rate. That's just what I was talking about earlier, where I just have a habit of using credit cards and I shouldn't. I do realize this interest rate is higher than these, but I also just use this card because I'm just really trying to focus on paying off these two cards before the interest rate ends. So this is another case of this isn't paying off debt, it's just moving around money. Overall, it's paying off debt because this amount is less than this and this combined, and as well as that amount. But it's also just another, way that I'm just moving around money. All right, this Chase Sapphire card, it's also closed. I closed this one because I think it had an annual fee on it. Either this one or this one, but I think it was this one had an annual fee. I did not want to pay anymore, so I closed that card. All right, my Wells Fargo card. That card went down $45. Sorry if I'm rushing through. I don't want this video to be too long. I can look to see when this balance transfer ends. Let's see here. So this is 0% until April 26. All right, so I'm not gonna focus on this card until I finish these two cards. Then my Citi Double Cash card, it went down the minimum payment, $41, and the interest rate is 0% until May 2026. 26. Then I have my Discover cards. This one was new as of last month, I believe. And this card went down $70.06. And it's a little bit more than my minimum payment. I can't remember why I put extra money towards it. I think this was just the fee that I paid. And this card is 0% until November 2026. So this one I'll take my sweet time paying that off. All right, then month to month, I did not calculate this either. Last month, my credit card debt totaled $25,122.71. And this month, it totaled $23,850.31, which means that it went down overall $1,272.40. So yes. And then also kind of like how I touched on a little bit last month, this debt, to move around money to this card, I had to pay 3% interest fee up front. But that 3% interest fee up front was lower than the 28.99% interest on the high balance that I had on my Chase Freedom card prior. So because I had to pay, and that I would pay every single month, and this I just paid all up front at once, and after 2.5 months I would be done paying off the interest that I would have been paying on this card for that same time frame. Sorry, for that full time frame of, taking the time to just pay it instead of moving the money around. It's very complicated. I don't quite understand it myself fully, but I just do it in a way that sort of kind of works for me. It's not perfect, and like you see here, I do make mistakes and I do fall into old habits, but that is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I get that question a lot, and I understand it's very confusing, because I'm not even doing it 100% correct. All right, and then my Vivint loan, it went down $37.16. That's the minimum payment. There is no interest. Then my student loans went down $84.23. That's the minimum payment minus what went to interest. My auto loan went down $263.54. That's the minimum payment minus what went to interest. Let me write down what these interest rates are here. This one goes anywhere from 4 to 5%, and this one's 0% for the life of the loan. All right, then I have my personal loan. It went down $501.60, which is the minimum payment minus what went to interest. And this one, the interest rate and the APR is different, but the interest rate is 14.99%. All right, so my loans month to month went down $886.53, which means my total debt went down month to month $2,158.93. I'm just doing a quick math to make sure that's all right. And it is, yep. So I paid off a lot of debt this month. So happy, and it's gonna hopefully be down even more next month because I worked 4th of July, so I'll be getting some good holiday pay. I create these numbers based off of after July 6th because July 6th, that's when the statement ends, so it doesn't get posted until July 7th. And then that's the same with my student loans as well. I don't get this statement back until July 7th as well. All right, so now let's move on to my debt tracker. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so now we are on my debt-free trackers. I get these trackers for free at debtfreecharts.com. I link them in my description box if you want to go see them, but they have a bunch of debt-free charts and savings charts and all different kinds of trackers. I really do like them. So here I track my total debt progress. My debt picture is like a month-to-month thing, but this tracks my progress since September 2023. And as you can see, I have, some months where I do great, some months where I'm not even listed on here at all. So we got to the 25% done mark in February 2025. Each box is worth $718. So now I can go ahead and color in for July. All right, and I can color off 3 boxes because as you saw, I paid off over $2,000 worth of debt this month. Or should I say last month, because I track from June 7th to July 7th roughly, depending on if it's a weekend or not. All right, yay, you can see there my progress. I'm hoping to, let's see, if I were to make the same amount of progress this year as I did for 2024, then I would be about here. And I'm hoping that I can get to here by the end of the year. So that's a huge stretch. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it, but it is part of my New Year's resolutions to do it. So we will see. Fingers crossed. All right, now here is for my credit cards. So my credit cards I struggle with. As you can see, it's not nearly as much of progress as I have with my total debt. And you can see there's very few months that get colored in. But I did decrease my credit card debt month to month. So each box was $307, so I can go ahead and subtract. So we started off with $30,626.05 in September 23 of credit card debt. This month I now have $23,850.31 of credit card debt. And then if I divide that by the 307, that means I can color in 22 boxes. This is 25, this is 24, this is 23, and this is 22. So I can make another huge progress. What colors are orange? Yeah, right? 25, 24, 23, 22. Yes, just barely as well. You can see it's like 2020, it's 22.0 something. Why did I do it that way? Gosh dang it. No, I don't like it. Well, I'm stuck with it. Okay. Okay. It looks ugly, but it is what it is. So I can just go ahead and put in July 2025. Perfect. Oh my goodness. My credit cards, because of my habits and how hard it is for me to kick them, this is a large progress, as you can see. Okay. All right, almost 25% of the way there. So now I have my loans. So you can see I'm more than 25% of the way there. I have had much more progress because I think I'm here with my total overall debt, but I make much more progress from my loans. My loans, I start off in September 23 with $41,099.62. Each box is worth $411. I am hopeful that I'll get way past 50% by the end of this year, but let me go ahead and calculate that. So, started off 41,099.62 minus 21,463. Ooh, even. Divided by 411. That's 47 boxes. So what's after green? It is orange. So that is, because this is 50, 49, 48, 47. Ooh, it's actually close to 48. So yes, great progress. I always get progress on this debt tracker, and it's my saving grace in months where I just can't get it together. I'm hopeful that pretty soon I'll be able to mark off 3 boxes. If I can do that next month, then I'll be at 50% of the way there. All right, but that is it. That is the breakdown of my overall debts. My next video will be out tomorrow. I'm gonna start going in a little bit more into detail with why I do this method in those other videos. So I don't want to make this video too long. It's already over 20 minutes, and I really try to keep these videos under 20 minutes. But in my annual spending plan video that I want to create, you'll see side by side the amount of interest that I'm paying, or in this case, not paying. And then also with my milestones, you can see month to month as well, the breakdown. But those will be some of my next videos. And I wasn't able to talk today about why I am having these older videos. I have it in my description, but in my next debt confession video, I'll go into more detail about why I'm going so much into the past. But yes, anyways, that is it. That's my overall debt picture. I thank you if you followed along and stayed to the end of the video, and I'd love to have you join this journey with me. So if you hit subscribe, you click the like, leave a comment down below, I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, thank you, and until then, thanks for watching, and see you next video. Bye-bye.